Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I will be reading the February 6th Daily Inspirational Message, the condensed version. It's 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments on the message. And I trust that it will assist both of us on our journeys. All right, here we go. Title: Fear is an unconscious act of self-deception. Paragraph 1. Fear is a sign that we believe that the absence of love is possible. Yet God is love in all. Thus fear can only be an illusionary belief, because the opposite of all is nothing. Believing in fear, which is nothing, is an unconscious act of self-deception. Being fearful does not make us weak or less spiritual than others. It is simply a sign that we have bought into the ego's programs and lies as real and true. Let us not judge ourselves for being in fear or for buying into its symbols of anger, stress, anxiousness, frustration, hate, resentment, and revenge. Instead, let us allow fear to become a sign that shows us when we're being who we are not. This way, fear is seen and used as an ally in our awakening process and not as an adversary. By doing so, we see how God does use all, even fear, for good. Paragraph 2. Today, if the ego's base thoughts come knocking on your mind's door, let us use them to trigger in us the recollection that God is love in all. Thus, the ego's thoughts cannot be real or true. If the ego and its mindsets are not real or true, then all of its tools, such as judgment, anger, resentment, and hate, cannot be real or true. The less time, focus, and energy we dedicate to them, the more we realize their illusionary nature. Now, instead of judging ourselves for entertaining such delusional thoughts, let us thank them for their service to us, for helping us see who we are not. Understanding this, let us become a brighter light, so that those still stuck in the ego's fear-based mindset may begin to see and find a way out of a world that they no longer want. All right. Fear is an unconscious act of self-deception. Okay. Imagine there's 2 primary emotions, love and fear. God is love and all, and therefore it cannot, in truth, exist something other than love when we're aligned with oneness. Now, in duality, in this world of seemingly black and white, there appears to be another emotion apart from all, and that's fear, and we call it nothing. And fear has numerous aspects, such as condemnation, judging self or others, anger, resentment, hate. Anything that's unloving in nature, we call it fear. And so it is important to realize today to try to go from the unconscious state to the conscious state, from fear to love. And what we're going to do is just practice realizing when we're unconscious. Yeah, we can be, somebody can be very judgy, or we perceive them as judgy, and then we become angry, and we get into that same old story that we've read over 100 times before. But the idea is not to punish yourself or others when you're in that place. The idea today is to practice catching yourself supporting the delusion as real. Okay? So when you're saying to yourself, okay, well, I'm getting a little frustrated and angry and resentful right now. Wait. That means that I'm unconscious. That means that I'm not aligned with God, with my source. That means that I'm not fulfilling my function as the light of the world. Okay. Let me just stop for a second, place those thoughts and emotions aside, and then come back to center, align with love, and practice offering an expression of love to that person, an expressive you being conscious to that person. And the more you express this consciousness of love, of light, of understanding, of peace, of forgiveness, the greater your light shines, and the easier it makes it for your brother or sister to realize that they're in a place, in a mindset they do not want. They do not want to support anymore. Because why support a mindset that only brings you negativity and makes you feel bad and sad and guiltful and shameful? Why? Why? We're taught to, when we're feeling shame, we're taught to focus on that shame and then we make it more real by focusing on it, or the guilt, and then we focus on the guilt, and then we make the guilt more real, and it feels yuckier in the body and in the soul. And so if that gets us nowhere, if that doesn't help us align with consciousness, with love, with light, why support it? Why support thoughts, words, and emotions that don't support you? Why? Only because we've been programmed by the ego that that's the way you should do it? Because the ego doesn't really care about you. It just cares that you use its tools. Because the ego wants to remain alive, because the ego knows deep down inside that it's nothing, that it's not real or true. And so it has to make up these fairy tales. And it has us buy into these fairy tales and reinforce these fairy tales, these delusions. And that way the ego gets to survive through you. And the ego, in reality, in those situations, in reality, you're a zombie in reality. You're not even in control of your own thoughts in that situation. Or if you're not in control of your own thoughts, you're not in control of your own mind and life. Because what is happening, if you only love, how could you offer this? That's impossible. That's not possible. So the person who's angry, resentful, hateful is not you. It's your ego. And so all we have to do is begin to recognize that. That's not me. Yes, I seem to be participating in this story, but I have free will. I can choose once again. I can choose to be quiet, settle down, take a breath, align with my loving nature, and then offer only the love in me as true to my brothers and sisters. And so today, don't punish yourself. Don't punish yourself when you're in that state, or when you're feeling shameful because you did something that you think you shouldn't have done, or whatever. Sure, it's human nature. We have to learn our lessons. We have to learn that this is not true. And sometimes it's hard to learn it, and sometimes it's easier to learn it. But little by little, we realize that it's all the same thing. That's the thing. The ego throws 1,000 stories at you. Because again, the ego needs you to use it so that it can live. And then you try to solve it in 1,000 different ways. And that's how it keeps you busy. But what if you just saw, this is not real. I have free will. I can see it as unreal. And let it go. Forgive it. Overlook it. What would happen if you start to just forgive instead of judge? Even when you find yourself stuck in one of those stories, stop. Become self-aware. Become conscious. Go from unconsciousness to consciousness. And then offer consciousness to your brothers and sisters. And the more we practice doing so, the easier it becomes to be conscious, to be aligned with your loving nature, to be the light of the world that God created you to be. And how does that happen? Through practice. And so if it happens through practice, why not be grateful for that practice? For those brothers and sisters who interacted with you, for those situations. What if we reacted to all the ego's delusions with gratitude? What would happen? What would happen to your day? And how would your day feel if you started training yourself to instead of react with judgment, you reacted with gratitude? Because you knew what this was for. You knew that this was for you to help you become conscious, to help you go from unconsciousness to consciousness. So anytime they seem to be doing or saying something unloving in nature towards you or towards others in your heart, oh, thank you. Okay, thank you, because that's not true. That's not real. I forgive you. And I release myself from the story. I close the book on the fairy tale. And I return to my truth, to my conscious nature. I let go of fear and all of its aspects and fake reflections. None of them are true. None of them are real. None of them are you. You are the love that God created. You are the light of the world. And that's why you came here. And now we can use these tools that we've learned, how unreal they are. Now we can use them to help guide our brothers and sisters when they are using them. When they are using them, it's like, and they come to you for advice, yeah, I was there before. This is what I started doing, and that's why I feel more at peace. And that's why I can offer you this advice, because I've been through it. And so all those are just gifts from the universe to you, so that you can put on your tool belt so you can help your brothers and sisters also become conscious. Also go from unconsciousness to consciousness, from fear to love. Love is your true home. It's your eternal essence. It's who God created you to be. It's who you're meant to be. And when you do so, fulfillment and appreciation is experienced. All right. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can like, comment, or share this video, I would be appreciative of that. If you'd like to leave me any questions, I would try to offer a response. And again, if you made it this far, extra love for you. And God willing, we will see each other tomorrow. Peace.